All right, so in this video, what I'm going to do is show you how to make basically a frame-by-frame animation, old school hand-drawn, but, digitally. All right, so here we go. So what we're going to do is open up Photoshop, create new, and we're going to go film video. Now, typically your computer monitor and probably your TV, they're usually running 1080p or 1920 by 1080, which means there's 1920 pixels by 1080 pixels. That's kind of the typical HD, that's Blu-ray, that's what have you, right? Problem is though, on your computer, doing frame by frame inside of Photoshop, it's going to be a lot for it to handle. If you're in a video editor stuff, they're built to handle those kind of resolutions. This is not. I mean, obviously it can. It depends. You might have a really nice computer, maybe it'll work well. But for this example, I'm actually going to go ahead and do choosing film video, and I'm going to do this HD 720p, which is it's fine. That's what we're going to do. Anyway, so it's just lower. It'll be easier for it to handle. So right off the bat, it gives me the action and title safe lines. That's what these guides are, at least the default ones. Not particularly useful. So I'm just going to go to view and just turn those off by going to extras and turning them off. So we don't need that. Next thing you want to do, mine's already set up here, but you're probably going to want to go to the motion workspace. This is normally what it looks like. You just want to go here, and you can do it up there, or you can go here and go workspace motion, right? So when we're doing motion stuff, you want to do it like this, all right? Now, hang on a second. Excuse me. I hope you said bless you, because manners matter, even though you're watching the video. It is actually possible to do hand-drawn animation in the video timeline that we have here, but I'd rather do it frame by frame so we have a little bit more control. So if you click the little thing, you'll see there's frame animation and there's video timeline. For the other styles, you would use the video timeline. And this one we're going to do create frame animation. Okay, so go like that, then click this, and then boom, we have this timeline here that you can see. And basically it's going to show each frame as we're working right here. Okay. And what we're going to do is unlock this. I'm going to make this a background. So I'm just going to do a ball bounce animation because it's kind of like the real bare bones. Wherever I'm teaching of animation, it's usually like the first thing I do is a ball bounce. And if you go to animation school, it's like one of the first things to teach you because it just employs a lot of the animation principles in a very simple, easy kind of manner. So that's what we're going to do here. We're just going to do that. And I'm going to rename this layer. We'll just call this one background. Okay. And I'm just going to draw a floor here. And let's just do like a gray. I got my brush. That's all fine. And I'm just going to hold shift so that it stays straight. Like so. Oh, and it's trying to do sticky keys, which I don't want. No, thank you. Okay, so I just have this gray thing. We're going to call that my background. That's fine. That way the ball will hit this and bounce. Oops. No, thank you. Like that. I'm going to go ahead and go back and lock this up again. Okay, good. And that will just be on all my frames, and that'll be hunky-dory. Okay. What I'm going to do now is make a new layer. It'll just be called layer 1, but we'll call it frame 1. All right. And we are going to draw ourselves a ball. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw just black here, and I got this, and let's just make this smaller. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. And let's just zoom this in. Control, where's my plus? Okay. All right, so now we got our full frame here. That's great. Okay, so I'm on frame 1. I'm on layer 1. And what we're going to do is we're just going to have the ball kind of drop and go like so. All right, we're just going to do what we call straight ahead animation. So I'm just going to draw a circle up here to represent my ball. Okay. That is a glorious, glorious ball. Very lopsided and not that good drawn. Okay, so there's my ball. So now what we want to do is my next frame. So next frame, what you're going to do is you go down here, and this is how you create a new frame. And actually, before I bother doing that, you can see right now, I think it's at 0 seconds. Let's do a delay of, let's see if I do that. Let's do a delay of 0.1 seconds, okay? So if it's 0.1 seconds, normally we run, so normally like Disney classical animation, you see like the old, like, Sleeping Beauty or Bambi or whatever, they ran 24 frames per second, which because film is 24, they would literally draw it on every single frame, And so it's 24 frames per second. All right. And then your Saturday morning cartoons are also 24 frames per second, even though it's video. They convert it over, but they animate on twos, which means they hold each drawing for 2 frames. They don't draw on every single one. So in essence, they're running at 12 frames per second. If we do 0.1 second, or 0.1 second, that's obviously a tenth of a frame. So it's going to be a little bit slower, and you can still kind of see the frames, but I think it's going to be a little bit easier for us to work. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the 0.1 frames. That's how long I'm going to hold that for. So now we're going to click on this, and that's going to be our next frame, okay? So I'm going to go to frame 2. And we're also, over here, going to make a new layer. That's just going to be called layer 2. So basically, we're going to have this. We're going to have layer 2. I'm going to turn off layer 1 on this, okay? And we just have layer 2. And actually, to make it a little bit easier, let's turn layer 1 on. I'm going to take the opacity down so I can see it, but it's behind me. And I'm just going to go ahead and draw. Actually, yeah, we'll leave it like that for now. And I'm going to draw the next drawing. So what we want to do is the frame should be closer together. If you look at my website, you can see how the frame should be, right? So they should be closer together. I want to arc it as it's coming down, and they're going to be close, 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 farther, farther, farther apart, and then they'll squash and stretch and do the next bit. So this one actually should be pretty close to this one. So I'm just going to kind of draw a ball right next to it, like so, okay? I'm going to take this one, I'm just going to put the opacity back up to 100, and then we're just going to turn it off, okay? So on frame 2, layer 2 is on, but layer 1 is off. I'm going to go to layer 1, and on layer 1, frame 2 should be off, but layer 1 should be on. Now you're going to see it's going to screw up the second one. So go back to here and turn layer 2 back on, okay? So basically frame 1, layer 1 is visible. Frame 2, layer 2 is visible, okay? And that's what we're going to do. We're basically just got in each one, we'll make a new layer for each frame, and we're just going to turn off all of them but the layer that coincides with our animation, okay? So let's go ahead and do the next one. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and then I'll make a new frame. I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and then I'll make a new layer. And I'm just going to leave this one up as it is, and then we're just going to kind of guess. I'm going to put this one a little bit farther from this guy. Okay, that's super great. Whatever. Okay. And what I'm going to do, instead of doing all this again, because that's going to get weird, I'm going to go over here, and we're going to turn layer 3 off. What that's going to do is that's going to turn off for for frame 2 as well, and the last one. And then on this one, I'm just going to turn this off and turn that back on. Okay. So here, here. So look over here as I click, you'll see frame 1, layer 1, frame 2, layer 2, frame 3, layer 3. Okay. So in essence, that's all we're trying to do. I don't care how you go about doing it. That's what we're trying to make it do. All right, let's do a new frame. Click here. Got a new one. Make a new layer. All right, I'll just leave this guy up here. And now this time, we're going to make it even farther. Something like that. All right, that looks great. I'm going to go to the first one, and we're going to go ahead and turn it off here. The reason why I do it, I go back to the first one, is that way it turns it off for all of them, even the one I drew it on, right? It's just easier that way. Then I'll go to the last one, and I'm going to turn layer 3 off and turn layer 4 on. And layer 3 was only visible on frame 3 anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. All right, same process again. New frame, new layer, turn layer 4 off. We're now on layer 5. Actually, let's turn this back on so I can see it. And then we'll just go ahead and we will draw the ball here. Okay. Okay, good. Turn layer 4 off. I'm going to go to here, to frame 1, turn layer 5 off, go back to 5, and turn it back on. So just so we can, I'm going to hit play, and you can see. Now, if yours isn't repeating, you just want to stop it. And right here you can see, you just want to do forever. That'll make it loop. Okay, so we got this one. So again, we're just going to do the next thing. Hit the new frame, hit the new layer. And then I am going to go ahead and do a stretch frame for here. Okay, so this is where it's going to hit. So we're going to make it stretch for this, which is quite a bit of stretch. All right, looks good. I'm going to go to frame 1. Just go ahead and turn 6 off. Go back here, and turn 6 on and 5 off. Okay, then we're going to do is do a new layer, new thing, and I'm just going to go ahead and do my squash. So right here, this is it squashing. Looks super great. Go to layer, or go to frame 1, turn it off, go to frame 7, turn it back on, and turn 6 off. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this because this will just be a little bit easier. I want to make a new frame, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it's going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll say 7. It took 7 to go down this time, so we'll say 6. We'll do 6. I'm going to do 6 new layers after this 7 one. Okay. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Just going to do them. Okay, I'm just going to do them all at once. Okay, so layer 8, this one should be a stretch. What did it look like before? I just want to make it kind of the same. Oh, I'm pretty good at this. Okay, so this will be my stretch up. Then we'll go to the next one, layer 9. And we'll go ahead and draw my ball, which I think got a little bit big there. Then layer 10. Okay, and layer 11, and 12, and 13, like so. Let's just go ahead and make a couple more. So let me see. Okay, we were on 13. Let's do 14, which I guess this is going to be a little bit less of a stretch because it's not going as far this time. So there's going to be a little bit, but not as much. And then 15, again, it's going to be a little bit of a squash, but not as much because it didn't drop as far. Okay? All right. So now I got 15 here. I need to make 15 here. So I'm just going to go boom, 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 until I get up to 15. And one more. Okay. Now you're going to see they're going to be on all of them here, right? So from, let me see. 8. I think 8 was fine. Well, we'll just turn them all off and just click and drag all the way off. Okay. So here's 7, 8. So I'll just turn 7 off, go to 8, go to 9, turn 7 off, go to 9. All right. Go here, turn 7 off, go to 10. Is 7 on all of these? No. Where does 7 turn on here? Oh, well, we'll just mash it up. I don't know. It'd be nice if they were all off. So let's go to 11. Boom. 12. And 13. And 14. And 15. Okay. So now if I hit play. Boop. Okay, you can see it's a bouncing ball. It's a bouncing baby boy. All right, that looks acceptable. Now from there, what we could do is this. So I'll go to first frame. So this is just a ball, right? Ooh, okay, it got quite a bit bigger over time. Whoops. See, you got to make sure you're checking your stuff here. I was not a good animator there. But I can make this look like, I can make this anything, right? So just make sure you're on the appropriate layer. So let me make sure I'm on layer 1. And then we could just have this be like, let's say, I don't know, a hamster, we'll say, right? So I'll just go like this and have him like, we'll give him like a diaper too for some weird reason. And let's have him have like, say like this. And then maybe he has like a cape that he's really excited about. Okay, and then all I got to do, we'll give him no mouth. I think no mouth would look better. Go like this, and then we just do the same thing. And then we can actually use our arrow keys to go back and, oh, it doesn't work that way. Does it work with these? Let me see. Let's try J and K. Oh no, J and K is going to bring up different tools. Well, that's kind of annoying. I don't know how to do. All right, well, we'll just click back and forth. But I'll just go like this. And then we can, like that. diaper. And he's just a super duper hamster guy. Just make sure he's got his diaper still, and then we'll go this way with the cape. Right, and then you would just kind of finish that up. So, and then besides that, I could just go through and maybe color him in with some colors. So we could just go like in like a kind of a hamster color. Now, what might make sense is I would finish the whole animation. You'd want to draw it out first like this. That's how we would do it in old school hand drawn, and even digitally, that's how we would do it if we were going to draw every frame. But what I would do is on here, I'd make another layer, put it underneath layer 1. And then I would just paint that layer, the colors that I want him to be. So we'll say I want him to be this color, okay? So like so. Imagine I did a good job. I know it's hard. Actually, I would just go through and do that continually. And then we'll just go here, make a new layer. Paint this, all that one color. Like so. And then go to the next frame. Go here, turn that layer off, make a new layer, and then, oops. Oh, I didn't turn the other one off yet? Oh, that one's got to turn off too. Go here, and then paint that one. Like so. And then, I think that's as far as I got, wasn't it? Yeah, so we'll just say we did that. So I'm going to go to the beginning here and just turn off all of my sub layers, and then just make sure this one's on for this one, go to this one and make sure it's 17, and then go to this one and make sure it's 18. There you go. And so you can see now he is colored for each one, and then I'll just go through and do, you know, the other thing. So like and paint his cape. Next layer. Okay. Next frame. And you get the idea. Looks like that one is just I don't know if I can grab all of them and turn it off. Yeah, there we go. That's one way of doing it. Okay. And then I would just go through and basically color it like that. And then when you hit play, you would, you know, it starts with like a hamster, but now it's just going to look like a hamster that's falling and plopping around. Okay. So hopefully you get the idea, but you just draw it, and all you're going to really do is turn on the layers for what you want to be shown on each frame. Okay. And you can make a whole cool little animation. You know, if you have like a Cintiq, like I do, or a Wacom tablet or something, that obviously would be preferred. But, you know, whatever you can do inside of Photoshop, that can be what you're doing. So, to be honest, Photoshop is one of my least favorite tools to probably work with as far as like animation. If I was straight up trying to animate, just because you can kind of tell, like going frame to frame, it's very cumbersome. However, the one thing that it does have that most other programs don't is basically its entire suite, right? The raster imaging editing tools in here are far beyond what you would see in most animation packages. Usually they have to do things in a more streamlined fashion because they're doing so many drawings, and it just processing wise, they can't handle it. So anyway, if you were going to work in here, I highly suggest like doing something very stylistic. Like what I did was not. It's very kind of the typical hand drawn, but I would like, you know, use a cool brush and make it look like a pastel drawing, like you're having a drawing that's being drawn in front of you, or, you know, do like abstract swirls that turn into something, or, you know, you could make it very painterly or geometric or something. Utilize what Photoshop is to create what you can make. Okay. So like I said, it's not necessarily my favorite tool, to make animation is, but it definitely, illustration wise, it's super strong. So you can take those illustration skills and directly apply them here. A lot of you guys did like a really good job on the digital painting. So I'm hoping maybe you might be able to like, utilize those skills and somehow maybe make something here. Like I know a lot of you guys are doing Pokemon and stuff like that. Like this would be a perfect platform for that. Okay. So anyway, let's say you're done with it. You animated. You're like, yay, I'm happy. All you want to do now is export out this thing, right? So to do that, you're going to go over here, and we want to right click. And you can't just render it like you can other things. You actually have to convert it to a video timeline. So click on Convert to Video Timeline. And now you're going to see, let me make this big. You will see your animation here. In a really weird way, you can see like it has all the drawings, but I don't know. It's just got a weird way of doing it. But once it's in here, you can now go ahead and export it out, right? So we're going to click on this, and then we can click on Render Video. So even before you would convert it over, I would tell you to save it. So can I undo that? I don't think it's undoable. Oh, it is. Okay. So I would save this first, just, like you normally would save, let's call this hand drawn. So you would save it just like you normally would as a Photoshop document. And then you can always come back to this and always work on it, right? And you can play it and what have you. But then once you're happy and you actually want to render it out, you'd click on this, Convert to Video Timeline. And then when you're in here, now you can render it out. Then you go here, Render Video. Just be aware though, if you save it after you converted it here, you don't really have access to the your layers anymore. You can see it's different. You can, if you try to convert it back over, I think you can do it, but it won't look the same. I think you can do it. Where is it? Convert frames. Convert frames into clips. Convert to frame animation. But it's not going to look like it does here. It'll look different. So you kind of want to just keep it in the one while you're working on it. Anyway, you're going to go export it. Click on there. Go Render Video. You'll see this here. So right now you choose the folder you want to go to with the name you want it to be. All this stuff here. You can choose what frames it's going to render. So right now it's saying start frame 0, end frame 6. Which is actually not what I want. I want to go ahead. Mine's actually going to 15 frames. Actually, it's not even 15 frames because it's running at 30 frames per second almost. So it's actually going to be 45 frames or 44. So I'm just going to click on Work Area. That's this little thing here. You drag this. Well, I can't now, but you can drag that around, and that Work Area is this bar. Okay. But you can also directly write what you want, or you can hit all frames. But all frames should be the same because I don't have anything beyond that. Anyway, you hit that, you hit render, and then it's going to make an MPEG-4 video for you. And it's going to say exporting video. And then if I go to my desktop, you're going to see an animation soon. Hopefully. Someday. Takes a little bit for it to pop out here. Come on, you can do it. Come on. There it is. And when I open that up, you're going to see you have a video. And this is a video that anyone can play on anything. You can post it to YouTube if you want. And you're going to have your animation. Woo! Look at that ball bounce. That is the best ball bounce I've ever seen in my life. Okay? And that is basically it. Okay, so like I said, be as creative as you can. Do something really cool, really interesting. When you are done, what I want you to do is give me both the video, the project cover sheet as per usual, and the Photoshop document. Okay, and that way I can see everything you got. If you run into any issues, obviously let me know. I'm excited to see what you guys make. So good luck.